All right, good afternoon. Welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform, 1010XL.com, the 1010XL app, of course, the 1010XL YouTube channel as well, our Jaguars channel, and shared all over social media and all over podcast platforms to wherever you listen and watch your favorites. My show brought to you by Team Tommy Mac, a group of businesses that I love, endorse, and they are always there for you when you need them. May not need them right away, like J-Dog junk removal and hauling, of course, for all your construction debris, you contractors, realtors, property managers. They will do it with integrity. You can trust them, and they'll get the job done at a fair price. Make sure you check out jdog.com or call 904-506-1256. I'll talk about the rest of them a little bit later as we will look at the team stats going in to this matchup as our Jacksonville Jaguars take on the 3-5 Houston Texans. Of course, we beat them the first time out here at home, 17-10, found a way to win, which was a good thing. It wasn't always great, but again, found a way to win. We'll take that. Keep in mind, 5 of the Texans' losses are one-score games. And I'm down here in Jacksonville. That means everything. You know, that's what we kind of fall back on. Well, the loss is just a one-score game. Well, they got 4 out of their 5 by one score. This is a good team. Now, granted, they don't have C.J. Stroud. Davis Mills very capable of beating us. He's done it in the past. If we don't get pressure on him, it's not going to matter. It's going to be like Geno Smith. Look at how Geno Smith played against us. And then, now, granted, short week turnaround. I get it. But just look at the harassment he was under last night against Denver. And he was nowhere near as effective. Because why? Because we couldn't pressure his ass. And I'm getting sick and tired of talking about it because we got to have pressure. And I'm going to go through some stats here. We got to get these guys going, man. But nonetheless, a big game, a pivotal game, in my opinion, for both teams. Because when we beat Houston, Houston's done. And they know they're probably done. When we beat Houston, we go to 6-3. We'll see what happens with Indy in Berlin. They take on the Falcons. We'll see what happens there. We can only control what we can control. But you get to 6-3. You've swept the Texans. You're on your way there. You're getting close to the lead in the AFC South in your division. You're staying ahead in the conference. I mean, it's big. It's big. And for them, if they win, now they're still in it. And then we're going to be fighting for that. Well, who knows? You don't know how Indy's going to finish. I mean, you can't just assume they're going to, go all the way and win the title. I think it's too early to say that. It looks like they are in the best position, but that doesn't always mean anything when you got 9 games to go in the National Football League, as we all know. So this is a big game, pivotal game for both franchises in 2025. D'Amico Ryan's a good coach, man. He's had this team at 10-7 2 years in a row. Their defense is, if not the best, one of the best in the league. Very good in scoring defense, very good in passing defense, very good in third down. They get after the QB. They're very good in the turnover margin or ratio. So are we. But these guys on defense especially are going to be a big challenge for our offense. I want one thing you can potentially do is run on them. They give up 4 yards a carry. That's not terrible, but it's not great either, and I think we can find some room there. I want to see more touches for Travis Etienne, LFG. No doubt about that in my book. Of course, the Jaguars earlier in the week trade for Jacoby Myers at 33. No, he's not 33. The other guy was. But the wide receiver from the New England Patriots, and then, of course, the Raiders. And then he comes to the Jaguars in the final year of a 3-year, $33 million deal. No guaranteed money left, so that's a good thing. He's going to be a free agent next year. Great. So is Diami, 1-year deal. I don't know about the other guys, but I know those two. we'll figure it out. You know, if he has a great year, you keep him. If he doesn't fit, you don't. And it doesn't really cost you anything other than the remainder of his salary for 2025. But he's a guy that has a low drop rate, catches it all. He's got a superpower. Did you hear that? He's superhuman, they say. Yeah, Gladstone said that. His superpower is catching the football. I don't know if that's a shot at the rest of the guys on the team, but we're going to find out how well he does catch that football. And we're going to find out how much of these drops that are happening are just the wide receiver dropping the ball. Because I expect 0 drops from Jacoby Myers as long as the ball hits him in both hands. I expect him to catch that rock, and I hope he does. I hope he does, and I hope it gets contagious that they all do. There were a couple drops last week, nothing major. Diami should have had the one over the middle, and Hunter should have had that one. That just was terrible, man. He's got to have that. Hunter Long's got to have that for a touchdown. But nonetheless, Jacoby Myers, sure-handed Jacoby Myers, comes to the Jaguars. He's going to play. We'll see what he can do. I don't know how big of an impact he'll make. I hope it's massive. I hope it is. Listen, we got to win this game, you know, and you can go around and be like, if they lose, blah, blah, blah. No, you got to take care of business with a rival, interdivision rival like the Houston Texans. We all know in the past they've had our number. We split the last 6 outings, 3-3. Prior to that, it was terrible. So we got to get on the winning track. And to me, it gets you closer to being that contender. It's November. It's early November. The big boys pull away from the small dogs. You know what I'm saying? They get away from them. Men and the boys, we separate them. We see teams that can stop the run. They can run the football. They get off the field on third down. They affect the quarterback. They do all these things because they're a playoff contender. Mike Dempsey says they are a playoff contender because they're 5-3. I don't know yet. You go to Houston and take care of them, you're definitely closer to that. Now, granted, your schedule you may look at it and be like, yeah, it's favorable to win a lot of games. Okay, but that doesn't mean we are going to win a lot of games. We've seen this team play really well at times. We've seen them play really bad at times. Which team are they? Well, they're 5-3, so you got to give them credit. It's hard to win in the National Football League. I don't like the fact that their defense continues to give up leads. They've squandered leads all year long. You can give me all the excuses in the book. I could give 2 shits. They mean nothing to me. You've got to stop the opposing offense. Not every drive. They're good too. But out of these drives, you got to stop them. I mean, are you kidding me? Last week, you know, you're down 9-6. Quarterback brings you back 13-9. They go right down the field. It's 16-13. Quarterback and company bring it back again. It's 2013. How do you reward them? Let them go for a 90 fucking yard drive and go ahead again. And then we come back again and tie it. And then we even again after we go down in overtime and pound. And then, you know, and then we let them right down the field again. So our defense has got to step up, man. I'm sick and tired of saying the what ifs and this and that. At the end of the day, they got to get it done. Hey, Connor, how are you? What's up, my friend? Yeah, I agree. Listen, where's our interior defensive tackles? By the way, if the rumors are true that Quinnen Williams, that we really went after him and Dallas ends up getting him, but if the rumors are true, what does that mean? Well, he don't play nose. That means they're not happy with Armstead. They're not happy with Mason Smith. They're not happy with Austin Johnson. They're not getting the job done enough. You don't go and upgrade like that unless you feel those guys are doing the job. So they didn't get it done. But they got to step up. We need some pressure on the inside. By the way, our D-line's been good against the run. 3.8 yards a carry. That's really good, man. That's really good. So you're doing a job against the run, but against the pass, you are not getting any pressure. You are not getting pressure, and you're not going to get there just from the outside. You need that inside push consistently. I'm telling you again. I'll tell it till I'm blue in the face. You give an opposing quarterback, I don't care if it's Geno Smith, I don't care if Davis Mills. You give them enough time with no pressure and you're playing zone, forget about it. They're going to pick you apart. He will get his completions. They'll get their scores. They'll get Dalton Schultz going. They'll get Nico Collins going. Hey, Stroud or no Stroud, this is what's going to happen if we don't get after the quarterback. Look, you know, both teams are going to do the same thing. What are they going to do? They're going to stack the box and say, we don't believe your quarterback can beat us. Fine. I wouldn't either. If I was a defensive coordinator against the Jags, that's what I would do. I would try to shut their run down and get after the quarterback and see if he could beat me. I wouldn't be that confident he could. And they probably feel the same way, but that's okay. Who cares? Just go out there and figure this game out. Yeah, I mean, it's got to be done. I'm worried about our safeties. I'm worried about Wingard. Man, look, and again, it's when you don't have pressure, the takeaways don't come. You know what I mean? They just don't. If that quarterback doesn't have to hurry his throw or it gets batted or whatever, gets hit as he's throwing, it makes it wobble a little. Those are when you get the interceptions, especially at safety. So I'm a little concerned with that. I'm concerned with Dalton Schultz. But at the end of the day, we're just going to have to outscore them like you do every Sunday, right? I mean, you're just going to have to rely on this offense. And this is a tall order. Their defense is tough. Very, very tough. And, look, we're going to have to be at our best. We're going to have to be at our best. They are going to be chomping at the bit. We're going to be chomping at the bit. We get Devin Lloyd back. Massive, massive, massive. And I absolutely love that. He has played outstanding. He's going to help with rushing the passer. He's going to help being physical. By the way, I thought both sides of the line were physical against the Raiders. I didn't feel that way about Seattle and LA, but this is now. Got to be physical again. It's going to be a physical game. We know this. Josh Hines-Allen, I am looking dead at you. Okay, listen, last week was good. For the record, Josh is a extremely hard player, like hard-working player. He doesn't take plays off. He doesn't loaf. He doesn't do any of that stuff. But he is ineffective way too many times. Look, last week was great, okay? 1.5 sacks in the box. Great. Ties the record. Great. But go watch both sacks. The first one, Agba made the play, and he cleaned it up. Fine. Gets a half a sack. The other one, it wasn't a great rush. He just hustled, and you have to do that. By the way, Max Crosby's sack was very similar. Quarterback breaks out of the pocket, trying to make something happen, running, catch up to him, sack him. Is that a great sack, or is that just a great hustle play? It's just a great hustle play, but you need them. I'm not taking it away, but I need to see some good pass rush moves, some really getting effect in the quarterback. I think what we will see with Devin Lloyd is more of those games where he's chipping that tackle and coming up, and the guy's looping underneath him and making something happen. You watch when McCary got called for holding on Max Crosby. That's exactly what they were doing. Slam the tackle and come around, and that guard being late. If he's late, you can beat him. Late seeing the switcherooski, him coming around at the end. He was too late, McCary was. He had to hold him, or that would have been a kill shot to our quarterback. So I think we'll see more of that with Devin Lloyd. And quite frankly, we need to see more of that. We do. Again, we've been very good against the run, not good against the pass. But let me throw this at you. Okay, and you're going to hear me say it. I actually mentioned to the fellas. I'm going to say it again on Tom's Takeaways, Helmets and Heels 2 to 4 with Taylor Dahl and Lauren Brooks, Monday through Wednesday and on Friday here at 1010XL. Takeaways about it's Josh Allen. I was looking up, sack leaders of the league. Obviously at 2, he's nowhere near the top, but he's paid like the top. You see Brian Burns, with 11. You see Myles Garrett with 10. Byron Young for the Rams with 9. Nick Bonito, he just got a big deal with Denver with 9.5. Where's Josh Hines-Allen? I don't want to hear who's next to him. I don't want to hear that. It's funny, like having these conversations, you have obviously football conversation, talking to friends and whatnot. But I said to a friend of mine just the other day, because we're talking about Caleb Williams up in Chicago. He's a Chicago Bear guy. And we're talking about Trevor Lawrence. And there's some different in years, but similar. Make great plays, make bad plays, good plays, bad plays, throws, what have you, right? Kind of all over the board. And we can all say, well, the line, the receivers, and all that. Okay, some of it's valid. But remember the days when that quarterback, whoever it was, that was top tier, it didn't matter what went on around him. He was still good. I'd have his bad days. We all do. But for the most part, they're still top-tier quarterbacks. Why? Because they're really good quarterbacks. They're really, really good players. They don't need all the other excuses. They just stand out. They just make the throws. They may get clobbered. They don't care. They're still making plays. So that's when, like you look at a QB, we'll compare it like Joe Burrow when he's healthy, right? Last year, the line sucked. He was great. Why? Because he's great. Now he's got great receivers. I understand that, but he's great himself. You see it every time he's healthy and he steps on the field. So there was a time where even though, and I don't want to go back to Archie Manning, but the Saints sucked. But Archie Manning got all the praise because he was a good quarterback. You look throughout time, there was, the teams may not have been that great, but the quarterback always stood out, right? Without question. So I feel the same way about Josh Hines-Allen. Where are you? Where are you? Okay, I don't want to hear, and I agree it does go together, but the great ones find a way, right? And the great organizations help you. I was going to use T.J. Watt as an example, but they do a great job. Cam Hayward's one of the best. Been there a long time. They always get another guy on the outside, Highsmith or whoever. Conrad this year out of Ohio State, they find those guys. We don't seem to find those guys, which brings me to my other point. Do you know, I was looking at the leaders. Kayvon Chason has 5 sacks. He had 5. No, he's got 5.5 this year. Sorry. He had 5 last year with the Raiders. He's got 10.5 sacks to date from last year and this year. A half a sack more than Josh Hines-Allen. He's not better than Josh Hines-Allen. They're playing him in the right position. Finally, the dumbasses before, I swear, I used to say it all the time, and you'd never change it. It would drive me crazy. Trying to make Chason a DN when he never played that position in college. He stood up. He was off the ball. I remember him at LSU, and he was a hell of a player. Number 18 from what I gather, or 16 or something like that, in that range. He never was a defensive end. He was all over the place. So good for him. Good for him. That's a classic case of misusing your talent. But nonetheless, he's got more sacks than Josh Hines-Allen. Josh Hines-Allen, since 17.5 sacks, hasn't really owned up to his contract. I'm not bashing. I like the guy. He's a great guy. He's a very good player. I don't call him elite because if he's elite, he's up there with the elites. So he's not elite. He's not. He's not an elite pass rusher, but he's a very good player, and he's been a good player for us, and he's good against the run, so he's a good all-around player. But we pay him to be a top sack player, and he's not. So we got to get that going. He's got to get that going. He's not the only one, of course. I think, like I said, ETN's going to be a key, get Trevor in a little bit of a rhythm. Trevor made some phenomenal throws last week. I mean, like on time, perfect spot, perfect placement, perfect velocity, everything. And there was a few of them. We need more of those. But get them in that rhythm because that's a rhythm throw. That deep comeback to Diami, that's 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back foot 5, let it rip, and there it was, and it was absolutely outstanding. Same deal to the deep curl to Brian Thomas. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ball's out. Perfect spot. Guy turns around, comes back to the ball, catches it, has a chance to make a play. I want to see more of those. We call them bread and butters. We call them easy button throws, whatever you want to call them. Get Trevor into that kind of rhythm because we're going to need it. This is going to be a tall order. Walker Little, Anton Harrison, got to be at your best. These guys, Will Anderson Jr., he's got 6.5, I think, or 6 sacks. And then, of course, Danielle Hunter has 4, which normally he has more. So we don't want them to get going here on this game. We got to step it up. One of my keys on Jaguars today earlier was Robert Hainsey. He makes a difference. He does. I'll be honest. When I looked at him in camp, granted, it's not full speed, I didn't know what to expect. He's not like an you look at him like, whoa, that guy's, man, he's big. They're all big. But, it wasn't like, holy cow. But then you get him in a game and you see how he plays. And he's vicious. He's ferocious. And it's contagious. So I want to see that coming out of our offensive line. We got to start right off the bat being that way. And our defensive front. I am calling out the DTs again. You understand what I'm talking about? Like, step it up. Let's go. I don't want to hear you part of the time. I want to hear you all the time, right? I don't hear Mason Smith's name ever. I don't. You don't either. Eric Armstead, I hear on occasion. He makes some plays, but not enough. Devon, same. Makes some plays, but not enough. Last week, look, everyone was congratulating. I thought it was a shitty performance by our defense. I did. And if I was on that defense, I'd be like, we escaped one. Thank goodness. We escaped. We didn't cause that. We escaped it. We didn't dictate anything. They did, though. They took care of business, and you can't let that happen if you're going to win in this league. All right, some great games this weekend, I think. Anyway, New England and Tampa is going to be a phenomenal game. 7-2 and 6-2. I love that matchup. We'll go. That's one of our picks from the Helmets and Heels pick. I'll give that later. I did the confidence picks. I did pick New England. The spread, we do pick the spread. Helmets and Heels, Bucks by 2.5. I may take that one. That'll be interesting. I think that's going to be a fantastic game. Philly at Green Bay. I think Philly's going to take it. I don't think Green Bay's got it against Philly. I think they'll not handle them, but they'll win that game. Tough to win on the road, Monday Night Football especially. And I think Pitt can upset the Chargers. I really do. I mean, they're really hurting up front, and I think we can have a chance to they can have a chance to really get after them and make some things happen. So it should be a good weekend. I went 8-5 last week. 8-5. I got killed. The two, the Detroit and what's the other one? Green Bay. I mean, Carolina. Man, our Carolina win's looking a lot better, isn't it? Across the league, we saw Logan Wilson in Dallas, Jacoby Brissett. He got the start and played great. Joe Alt out for the year. So is Slater, as we all know. So the Chargers are hurting up front. We know this. We get them in 2 weeks. That'd be good. And then we'll get Brissett, who, again, you give him time. So I keep whacking the table. You give him time, and he'll kill you. There's no doubt about it. So we got to get a better push up front by our defensive tackles. And Josh Hines-Allen, let's go, man. Let's get it going. That's going to be a critical part of this game. Going to need our kicker on the road. We need the kicker making kicks. He did a great job last week. I know the record's special. The 48-yard is even more impressive. I said that all week. That's going to be big. We need him. They will be out with their kicker. Fairbairn is out. He's a really good kicker. Matthew Wright is in off the street. We know him for being a former Jaguar. They're really good on defense, and they're not that good on offense. They're only okay. They only score 21 points a game. Well, we only score 22, so we're not that good on offense either. But let's get into the final team stats, I should say, brought to you by my good friends at Team Tommy Mac, Carpetman Flooring, carpetman.biz, Chris Lucero's Bail Bonds. Get out of jail quick, man. Don't get thrown in jail. But if you get thrown in jail, he can get you out quick. Him and his team ready 24/7. Make sure you check him out at 904-822-2245. J-Dog Junk Removal and Hauling, jdog.com. Morgan & Morgan for the people.com. Pound Law, that's all. They're the largest. They got the firepower. They will help you with your personal injury claims. Azar Sausage was with the fellas yesterday. Homegrown, down home, 4th generation. They sometimes cook sausage in the waiting area. It's great. Had a bunch of that. Make sure you check them out at Winn-Dixie. And, of course, in the Native Sun stores as well. Newmark Phoenix Realty Group, my friends in Phoenix, been around a very long time. The #1 commercial real estate firm in the land. They take care of it. They find you a solution, industrial, retail, you name it, investments, development. They've got all the solutions. 904-399-5222. FreedomFinance.LLC for your fractional CFO. Courtney Myers and his team are the best at it. You need a CFO to come in and take care of your financial situation with your business. Go to freedomfinance.llc, codeninjas.com. 5 great locations for your kids to learn all about technology, AI included. They got AI academies all throughout the 5 great locations, codeninjas.com. Salt Air Inn and Suites, boutique hotel with concierge service right there 4 blocks from the beach, 2 blocks from the ocean. I send many people there. It's very beautiful. The rooms are beautiful. Got a little courtyard with a little pool, and you're right 2 blocks from the action, all the restaurants and such. Coconut Joe's hot sauces, they're on our table. The sriracha is phenomenal. Pineapple Ghost as well. Family Tradition Specialtyfoods.com is where you find them, and they're absolutely incredible. Rick O'Connor's All-State Insurance. It covers it all from auto, life, home, you name it, business, renters. They do it all, and they do a great job. 3 great locations, St. Aug, St. Johns County, and in Jacksonville. Main number, 904-380-8494. So 380 Hunter Long and Mason Smith. That's how I remember numbers, by using football numbers. That's right. 380-84-94. Of course, the Baracus Group not only help your business stay protected, your home, and when you travel. I want to thank 1010XL, man. I love being part of the family. You can check them all out, all of Team Tommy Mac out at TommyMac.net. Just click on the logos, embedded website on each one. It'll take you right to the respective. They're great. They're absolutely great, and they will always be there for you when needed. All right, let's look at some final team stats. I hate to start off with a negative, but they have 56 penalties, and we have 74, almost 20 more penalties. Got to stop the penalty. We know it's, be a pro. Be a pro. Don't hold. Don't false start. Parker Washington had 2 big plays called back because of penalties last week. Can't have it, man. Can't have it. You're killing yourselves. A good team's going to hurt you. You got to make sure you take care of those or take advantage of those opportunities. Got to get it done. Got to slow down on the penalties. All right, scoring. I already told you what the offenses scored, 22 and 21 points respectively, Jags to Texans. We give up 23 points a game. Again, Raiders put up 29. Should have put up 30. Should have put up 31 and beat us, to be honest with you, but they didn't, thank goodness. But Texans defense only giving up 15 points a game. They're good. They're a good defense. No doubt about it. Our yards per carry on the ground, ETN leads it with 5.0. Their best guys at 3.9. Our defense is at 3.8. I've been commending them all week long and still will. And they're at 4.0. I think we have a chance to run on. I do. I want to see ETN on those. Let's pin that end in and get the guard pulling around, clear out that DB, and then wall off the linebackers and safety with our tight end and get ETN going up that chute. He's really good at that run. I think we have a chance. Their offense, again, Chubb leads it. Marks is only 3.6. We're not concerned about the run game. But shut them down and see if Davis Mills can beat us. If we don't get after him, he will. There's no doubt about it. Yards per attempt plus completion percentage. 6.3 yards down the field for Trevor at 60%. Creeping up, getting a little better. Let's see, that's Stroud. He was at 7.0 and 66.5, so that'll change. I'm sure. I thought I saw where Davis was like in the 4 yards, so he's going to dink and dunk. He's not going to feel very comfortable early, especially if you get after him. But remember, Nico Collins can kill you. Greg Newsome, step up. Shari Jones, step up. Buster Brown, step up. Jordan Lewis is questionable. Hopefully he can play, but if he can't, these guys got to step up, no doubt about it. Now, our defense gives up 7 yards per attempt at 64 completion percentage. Not terrible, but not that great. Their defense, 6.1 yards at 57%. That's great. You hold them under 60% completion percentage, you're doing a good thing. Third down conversion, we're at 36%. They're at 32.5%. Our defense still not good enough, 42%. Their defense, 33%. Really good. 1 out of 3. They're getting out. They're leaving the field. I'm sorry, 2 out of 3, they're leaving the field. 1 out of the 3, they're staying. All right, fourth down, we're 11 for 18. On offense, they're 9 of 13. Similar, I guess, ratio. They're 4 of 8. We're 4 of 7 on defense. Same. All right, sacks given up. We give up 21 with 48 quarterback hits. They give up 19 with 44 quarterback hits. Pretty similar. We defense have 10 sacks with 39 QB hits, 29 tackles for loss, and they have 17 sacks and 41 QB hits. So more sacks. I don't have tackles for loss. I guess I missed that one. Interceptions, they have 9 on D. We have 11. All their 5 picks are from Stroud, none from Davis in limited fashion. Of course, Trevor has 6, 9 TDs passing, and they had 11 all Stroud. We're at +8 on turnover. They're at +6. So, look, again, I know we're 5-3. I know they're 3-5. I know we beat them before. But you look at the team and how they're doing and how they've lost, this game could go either way. Unfortunately, last game almost went either way when it shouldn't have. I mean, we should have controlled that. Our defense, again, you're disappointing me. And it's not the play caller. I mean, you got to get there with 4. And if you don't get there and he calls your blitz number, you got to win. I mean, Ashton Genty beat you guys up last week, man. That can't happen. You got to run through those guys. Make a move. Devin Lloyd's going to help. He'll bring a lot of pressure. I think that'll help quite a bit. But we got to make sure that we take care of this game. We got to win that fight on Sunday, man. You got to win that Rumble. It's that important. It's not just because it's Houston. Not just because it's the division, more about our team. Our team saying, hey, we got something here. We haven't even played our best ball. Let's start playing our best ball and stack these wins. And who knows? Maybe we run into the playoffs with 9, 10 wins. Maybe. I mean, you can't play like you did last week and expect to really, get lucky at the end, get magical, whatever the case. So it's going to be a good one. Got to have Parker Washington. He's been great in receiving. He's been great at yak. He catches the rock. Great catch over the middle. It was coming in hot. It was great. You can see it just his fingers get around that ball. And he's great with the football, great at returning. Need to see him. I'm interested to see Jacoby Myers and how they use him. De'Ami Brown was practicing. Need him. Need him to catch that ball over the middle. No doubt about it. And of course, we don't know if Hunter Long will play. Johnny Munt's got to step up. He's an athletic tight end. He can make some plays. Give him a chance. So it's going to be a good game. Going to be a tough game. I call it 21-20. I got a little nervous. Got a little, had to pick out a score, but I think I'm going to go a little different. 21-13, and I'll stick to it. I think we'll hold them to 13 points and be able to win this game. We got to win this game, man. 6-3, and there we go. Brian Thomas Jr. ruled out. Thanks, Jacob. So now we don't have Brian Thomas Jr. It's okay. We won without him last week. I'd rather have him in there, but we got to have guys step up and make sure they get the job done. But again, it'll come down to the QB having time and being able to put the ball in the right spot. And I hope he does that more times than not. All right, that'll do it for me this time around on a Friday edition, catching up with Tommy Mack. Hey, want to thank everybody who came out last night to Lynch's Irish Pub for the taping of The Horse's Mouth. Coach Mark Duffner was there. You'll see that interview talking about the Jags. Del Campo Sox was there. Zach Bruss was there, the founder. So cool. What a great story. And so many others. Just love that show and interviewing people. Of course, love doing this, love doing Jaguars Today, loving doing Helmets and Heels, love doing all the media stuff, man. It really does bring joy to my heart. So let's get a victory on Sunday, and we'll be back on Monday on Catching Up with Tommy Mack, talking about a great Jaguars victory. All right, going to take a little break. We'll see you at 2 o'clock sharp for Helmets and Heels with Taylor Dahl and Lauren Brooks. Until next time, stay safe, be cool, and stay safe, man. Have a great weekend, too. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mack. Peace and love, everybody. See you next time.